Hey guys, it's Danny. Today, exciting video, we are going to plant some orchid bulbs. Yes, not pseudobulbs, bulbs. We are dealing with a terrestrial orchid here, and I just purchased these bulbs from eBay and I'm very excited to pot them up. This video will have two parts. I will pot them up today, but I won't post the video. I'm gonna wait for something to sprout and develop, and when I have the tiny little sprouts, hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to publish the video, just so we have more things to show. So the orchid in question today is the Spathoglottis affinis. There we go, we focused. This is a wonderful terrestrial or garden orchid which is deciduous, it loses its leaves and also produces corms. It has lovely yellow flowers. Not entirely sure yet if it is fragrant. I think I read that it is fragrant, but I might be mistaken. Anyway, I purchased it for the beautiful flowers and also because I want to get into terrestrial orchids once again. You know what? I want to try peonies once again. Maybe it wasn't the temperature here because, hey, I'm blooming Miltoniopsis right now, despite the temperature. So maybe it was a setup problem, a medium problem, who knows? I'm questioning a lot of things I did in the past now as part of the learning process probably. I know I did some mistakes with quite a few of them and I want to correct them. Anyway, long story short, I want to try out these Spathoglottis orchids because they just look very, very pretty and they're supposed to be hot growing. So theoretically, I should keep them outside on my terrace without any type of issue. And if they go dormant during winter time, I can just put them under the staircase, not think about them. They're not gonna take space in the grow space. They're perfect, right? So anyway, I just received these bulbs and they look alien. Let me give you a close-up. So here we have the little bulb. It is rather flat. It doesn't have the typical round shape. And I don't want to handle it way too much because this guy already has the shoots starting to form and produce roots. If I turn it upside down, I think we can already see the new shoots starting here. We have tiny little roots. Here as well, I think there is a shoot, maybe here. I don't know how many shoots will decide to sprout from this particular bulb. We have something sprouting here as well. So yeah, I don't know what exactly will develop, but something will. We already have roots, so that's great. And all of these bulbs, if I turn them upside down, I think I can see growth points starting to develop. So here they are, very cool looking, I have to say, and I do believe they are viable. There isn't enough information about this orchid on the internet. I don't know if there is a picture of the corms or the bulbs available on the internet. I tried to look for more details so I can do this right, but I could not find much. So we're gonna wing it today. How deep should I pot them? I don't know, we're gonna wing it. We're gonna use a smaller pot because I did find an article, which you'll find linked down below, which suggests these orchids kind of like tighter pots somehow, which is strange because that's something specific for epiphytic orchids. Not sure why these will like tight pots, but anyway, that's what the article suggests. We're gonna go for a tight pot, one that is actually transparent because I wanna see the roots, their development, maybe see the corms as well if they grow. So with that said, let's just get to work. So here is the pot that I'm gonna use. It is a standard orchid pot. It is a 13 centimeter one, which does not have extra ventilation holes. I use something like this mainly for epiphytic orchids, litophytes, and semi-terrestrials. These are the orchids which need a little bit more ventilation, particularly the epiphytic orchids. With pure terrestrials, it's really not needed. All we need is a well-draining medium, and particularly in my environment, the addition of extra ventilation holes might actually be detrimental. It might make my pot dry out way too fast, that's one, and second, I have a suspicion these orchids' roots will not really like air, will stop growing when they hit too much airiness. So overall, I don't believe the extra holes, extra slits are needed. So I'm just gonna make sure the medium is well draining enough. Talking about the medium, I'm going to prepare a sort of terrestrial mix, and I'm going to show you how. So I have a few things here that I will be combining in different ratios. First of all, we have sphagnum moss. It is so water retentive that it is a very good alternative, even standalone, for terrestrial orchids, but being that we're not using a very tiny pot, I want to mix it up with things that will provide just the slightest aeration. We're also going to use perlite. This is a very good material for drainage. It also retains water, so it's not like we are taking up space with things that don't really retain anything. Then we have bark. This is actually fir bark that I found in the pet shop. It is actually intended for reptiles, but it is incredibly clean, smells like a forest. And looking for reviews and uses on the internet, a lot of orchid people actually use this brand, which is Reptibark from Zoomed. I think that's the brand. Not as good as Orchiata because it will deteriorate much faster, theoretically. It is not treated. However, though, for these orchids which go dormant every year, we don't actually need Orchiata, which is a lot more expensive. So I'm not gonna waste the Orchiata on this setup. This particular bark is really affordable for the quantity that I actually found. And third of all, leca. This again is a medium which will provide more drainage. It's also a filler. I have a lot of leca. It also retains a little bit of water. So again, it's not a filler that will just take up space. Although there's nothing wrong with that, but I want my medium to be rather water retentive. So the ratios in which I will mix all of these, oh, I really don't know. I think we're just gonna wing it. I'm a visual person, so it's gonna be a surprise for both you and me. I'm gonna mix it in the pot. Actually, no need to prepare more medium that I need. So with that said, let's just get to work. So as you could see, I used quite a lot of moss and bark. I think more of the bark than anything else. A little bit of leca, a little bit of perlite. It's kind of hard to calculate some ratios, but this is how my mixture looks like. Now, I read that these orchids are heavy feeders, and I was contemplating to use some slow release fertilizer as well. But being that this is the first time that I'm dealing with these orchids, I much rather not use the slow release right now and just try to control everything with the fertilized water that I will provide. Because if things get over-fertilized in the medium, I will have no choice than to actually unpot the orchid to change the entire medium. So I don't suspect that will be a good idea. We'll see next year if everything, goes well. I might opt for some slow release, but for now, I think we are good. So the way that I'm going to place the bulbs is with the root system downwards. How do I know that this is where the root system should start? Well, because I'm lucky to have this growth with roots here, and this just looks like the remains of a stem. So this is how I will place my bulbs in the pot. And I noticed that all of the other bulbs kind of look the same. So I'm going to sit the bulbs in this pot, and I will keep my fingers crossed that this is not very high in the pot, and then continue with just adding medium on top. And this is it. The only thing that's left is to place the tag. So we pot it here and go water this pot. I will keep this pot in the growth space in a warm location because the orchid has already started to grow. I cannot see the bulbs through the pot. I didn't arrange them so that they touch the pot, but that's okay. I'm hoping to actually see the roots. That's the whole point of the transparent pot. And at the top, as you can see, I put a thicker layer of bark. This is because it will prevent algae formation, and that's what I want. So for now, I will only use just pure osmosis water. I will not use fertilizer or anything of the sorts. I might start fertilizing when I will see the first shoots appearing. So that's when we will pick up this video. Fingers crossed that something will sprout, but if you already see this video uploaded, then chances are something happened. So alrighty, time shall pass very, very fast for you guys. So past Danny says goodbye, and future Danny says hello. This is the 2nd of April. That video was shot on the 27th of March. So we're about 5 weeks later, and here is my Spathoglottis. One of the bulbs has poked through the medium and is looking pretty great. I've noticed it about 2 days ago, and it seems to be growing quite fast. Maybe the other bulbs will start to poke pretty soon. I don't want to damage their tips, but looky here. Inside the pot, we can actually see another growth developing here, and I do believe this is a tiny little root. Oh, here we go. This is another tiny little root. It's the first time that I'm saying this, you guys, as well. This is so exciting, isn't it? Wow, okay, I don't think I see anything else. But yeah, definitely this is another growth poking through the medium. It has absolutely no issue because this medium was pretty fluffy, even though it is bark. Well, it's a bark mix. And yeah, definitely the roots are growing great. There's nothing to complain about. So I'm not sure if this is coming from the same bulb. Maybe next year when we're gonna unpot this orchid, if we're gonna unpot it, we're gonna find out. But if you remember, and of course you do, it's been a month, but for you guys it's been only a few minutes, I had 3 bulbs here. So I do believe this has been a success. Now I know today is the 2nd of April and I should have done a different video today, but the universe is working against me. Everybody needs something from me. So orchids in bloom, maybe tomorrow, maybe in the weekend. That's the type of video that takes a lot of time, but for now, I think it's great to see the Spathoglottis taking off, and I will be putting this guy outside. I will get a decorative container for it. Oh, one more thing. Do you notice that the roots, even though exposed to light, they have absolutely no issue growing? Somebody asked me if terrestrial orchid roots need to stay in the dark. You'd think they would, but in my experience, they don't actually get affected by the light, provided you don't burn them with the sun. However, just for stability reasons, I will get a decorative container, one of the clay ones which is heavier, and put it on the terrace in a very bright location, not very sunny location, and we'll keep you up to date. I'm so excited that stuff are growing and everything is going okay, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So you know the drill, like or dislike this video below, subscribe to my channel for regular orchid videos, tutorials, Q&As, other fun orchid subjects, and if you'd like to support my channel further and help it grow, do consider visiting the merch store, links down below in the description. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!